You may be seated.
Hello, Your Honor.
Hello.
This is the case of Smith versus Bailey Anderson.
Thank you, Jerome.
You're welcome.
Good day, everyone. Miss Smith, you're here because you love your one-year-old daughter, Tamia, and say you're hoping your mistakes don't ruin her life. Now, at this moment, you claim she has 3 possible fathers. You've requested results of multiple paternity tests to determine who her one biological father is. Now, Mr. Bailey, you're an ex and potential father number 1. Mr. Anderson, a one-night stand and possible father number 2, is waiting in our hallway and will join us shortly. We will also address Tamia's 3rd possible father in just a moment. But Ms. Smith, enlighten the court. How did you end up with 3 possible fathers for your daughter?
Well, Your Honor, I was married, and I was really going through a bad time with my husband. We was going through some things, and I sought comfort in Mr. Bailey. 8-year relationship. Throughout the whole 8 years, we've messed around.
So this has been a long-term relationship that extended
Yes,
into
Your
the time
Honor.
during your marriage.
It wasn't a relationship.
Yes, Your Honor. Yes, it was. He's my soulmate sexually.
So you're denying it, but you're here in this courtroom, which means you must have participated in some part of this.
Yes, ma'am, I participated in it. I injured my knee while I was in Iraq, so I came home early. I was looking for somewhere to stay. I called her, asked her if she knew any places where she was staying at because I wanted to be in that area. One thing led to another. We just ended up messing around. But I don't feel
In
like
every
the child is
house
mine.
that he looked for.
That's a
So
lie.
you admit to messing
That's a
In
lie.
around.
every house that he looked for, he
That's a lie.
continuously looked for a house.
That's
We
a lie.
we
That's a
looked
lie.
for over 4 or 5 houses, and we had sex in every last house.
That's a lie.
Empty.
Wait
That's
a
lie.
minute now, wait a minute. You was looking for houses?
Yes, ma'am. Every time we got a key, we had sex.
That's a lie. That's a lie.
Yes, that's very much true.
All right, so the bottom line is, Mr. Bailey, you acting like you didn't participate, but you had sex enough to understand that there's a possibility that you're Tamia's father.
She had sex with a lot of men that could be possible the father of the
That's
baby.
not true. Not at all. He's always been my go-to guy, and I'm his go-to girl.
But it's somebody in the hall waiting on-
We have a 6-year-old daughter, and he's
It's
been
a man in
married
the hallway
twice.
who took a
I've been
DNA
with 2
test.
wives and several girlfriends.
But this is the question. You say he's your go-to guy, but how many other men were you going
Exactly.
Only
Exactly.
one. Me and my husband tried for years,
The only
and we
reason,
could not conceive.
the only reason
He's
we're
the
here
third
today
man.
is
Me and
because
this man
her
continues
husband
to
didn't
have
work
sex
out.
recently.
Her
all
and
the
her
time.
husband
We're not
didn't
gonna
work out.
stop.
That's
Okay,
the only
let's
reason we're
calm
here
down.
today.
I want to be able to hear you both. The only thing I care about here is Tamia. I don't care what you all got going, whether it was happening then, now, later, ever gonna stop, or in 10 more houses. I don't care. When you found out you were pregnant,
Yes, ma'am.
who did you tell that you were pregnant and that they were the father?
I told
She
Mr.
told
Bailey.
both of us.
No,
Me and him
I did
actually
not.
stayed in my
I did
car
not tell him. He
when I
don't
was staying in
even
Rome,
know.
Georgia.
He don't
We were
even
sitting in the
know.
car. I picked him up
He
because he
don't
was
even know.
walking.
That's
We
not
had a
even true.
conversation.
My husband had a car. We had
We had a
trucks and cars. So
conversation,
when he walked,
and he said that she
Hold
was
on.
telling him that he was the
Miss
father of the
Smith.
child.
Really?
Listen, I need to be able to hear the testimony. You said she told you were the father.
Yes, ma'am.
But your testimony also is that she told
Her husband.
her husband.
Yes, Your Honor. And also today.
Because wait, you picked him up. He was walking one day and you picked her husband up?
Yes.
Really? Come on now.
Yes.
Seriously?
But you sleeping
Why?
with his wife? But you just gonna give him a ride.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
I want to get the truth for this little girl.
Yes, Your Honor.
And I need to understand how this all came to be so we can figure this thing out.
Well, Your Honor, like I said,
couldn't
I
cross
was
legs.
going through
So
some. I was
during the
going through
window
some
of
things.
conception, I need you to just be point blank honest, Ms. Smith. How many men did you sleep with during the window of conception?
2.
So 2.
Yes. Me and Mr. Bailey been sleeping together 8 years. We're not going to stop.
I
and it's been
heard that
continuous.
you have provided that testimony already.
My daughter looks like this man.
No, she doesn't.
Yes, she does.
But the simple fact of the matter is, she
But
told my wife
the
that she had
point is,
multiple
is you
Oh, wait a
partners.
minute, this
Also-
woman ain't never had a conversation.
Miss Smith,
Not
you
until I
also-
told
all right.
her that she was just my baby daddy.
Miss Smith, if I can't hear your case, it's no sense of you talking.
Okay.
And if you're not gonna be talking, there's no sense of you to be here.
Yes, Your Honor.
Look at me. You gotta set the example, baby. You want better, but you got to do better.
Well,
you want better for her, you got to do better.
I want my daughter to have a father. I want her to know who her father is. Regardless of my mistakes, regardless of what I've done, I don't want her to go through that. You know, she's a girl. And women as little girls, they need a man to show them who and what not to go after, or how to be a woman.
And that's what mothers do. You put your feelings, you put your life on the line for your child.
And I have.
Because it don't matter really what anybody else thinks about you. If you come into a courtroom like you have today, brave enough to tell your truth so that you can get answers for your child, then you being a mother, they got to deal with their own life.
Yes, Your Honor, because this is the thing. I had a one-night stand with Mr. Anderson.
Okay.
That much is true.
Ms. Smith, you do understand, you're a woman, you understand it only takes once.
Yeah, you're right.
So if he needed some doubt to hang his hat on, you gave it to him. Mr. Bailey, you want to deny her and say she's this and she's that, but the truth is you do admit having a long-term relationship with this woman. So the fact that you potentially could produce a child together and you acting like it's not even possible, even though her actions and her behavior is out of order for court, I do kind of understand her frustration. If you want more episodes of Paternity Court, make sure to subscribe and click on the notification bell. This is what I want to do now. I want to hear from Mr. Anderson, which is the one-night stand and possible father number 2. Jerome, can you please escort Mr. Anderson in?
Yeah, let's go on. Come on. I'm going to have you go up to the witness stand next to the judge. Okay.
Thank you for joining us, Mr. Anderson. We are having a very heated discussion and debate about the issue regarding Tamia's paternity. And Ms. Smith has admitted that she had a one-night stand with you during the window of conception, and you potentially could be her daughter's biological father.
No, I don't think so.
You don't think you had a one-night stand, or you don't think it was during the window of conception, or you don't think you could be the daughter's father?
I'm sure I had a one-night stand.
Check.
But I don't think I
Was it done during the window of conception?
Maybe it was.
Check.
I'm not sure.
And lastly, could you be the child's father then?
No, I don't think I could be.
Okay, then your math is off.
Yeah, right.
We need to send you to summer school. Now listen, Mr. Anderson, if you had sex with this woman one time during the window of conception, you just have to own the fact that you could be the child's father. Now look, I know it's hard to accept when it was just a one-night stand, but it's a whole lot of people in this world from one-night stands, I hate to tell you. I need to hear from you. When did you first hear about Tamia?
About 2 months ago, the girl that I met her through came to see me, and she brought her and the child and another child. I was sitting in a car with them talking, and I seen the child, but she never said that I could be the possible father. About an hour after they left, she text messaged me on the phone and told me that I could possibly be the father of a child.
So you just thought it was a joke?
Yeah, I pretty much thought it was a joke.
Well, Your Honor, we had that one-night stand. Like I said, I went out with my friends to Mr. Anderson's house. I'm not a drinker, so I drink very light. But that night, I was on some Ciroc and Sprite, and I was drunk. My friend left me, and I had sex with Mr. Anderson.
Do you want to watch Paternity Court on TV? Go to paternitycourt.tv to find your local listings. So, what other doubt do you have besides the fact that you feel like you only slept with her once?
Well, I have a medical condition. I was diagnosed with leukemia in 2009.
Glad to see you're well.
Yeah, I take chemo pills, and my doctor told me that if I did have children, that they'd have severe birth defects if I could have kids at all. So that's my reasoning for thinking that the baby just couldn't possibly be mine. She seemed like a healthy baby with no problems.
And so is this the evidence you're holding?
Yes, it is.
Let me see that.
Okay.
Ms. Smith, that can give him a little doubt.
Yes, ma'am, it could, but he also has a young child. I have no problems with Mr. Anderson. He's a great guy, actually, you know, and I wouldn't mind him being my daughter's father.
Ms. Smith, who's on the birth certificate?
My husband.
He is.
My husband, he was
had
there.
The baby. He had the baby for 7 months.
He was there. This man was too
He
scared
had the
to
baby
step
for
up to
7
his
months.
responsibility.
Because you told
he was
5 people that
scared of
was
this
the daddy.
woman right here.
All right.
Because
You
he
told
been
5
sleeping
people that
around
the
on this
daddy.
woman
Ms. Smith,
Come on
all
now.
this time.
I know you're passionate and I know this means a lot to you, but I need you to speak in a respectful way in the courtroom.
Yes, Your Honor.
Me and my
So the
relationship
point
don't have
is
anything to do with
Mr.
this.
Bailey has doubts. Is there any possibility that there could be any other guy that could be the father?
No, ma'am.
Anybody else?
No, ma'am.
So between your husband, Mr. Anderson, Mr. Bailey, the bases
That's
are
what it
covered.
is. Yes, ma'am.
Your Honor, this is not the first time she tried to pin a child on me. She said her 3 or 4-year-old was mine.
Hold on,
and
you
it turned
said
out to
it
be
did
And
another
I
guy.
told you when she was born that she was not yours.
That's a
but
lie.
again,
That's a lie.
you was messing
That's
with
a
me
lie.
around the times of conception.
So hold on, Ms. Smith, hold on. Let him get his testimony out. So you're saying you feel like this isn't the first time she tried to do this because she
No,
told
ma'am.
you before she was
She
pregnant.
told me previously that her 3-year-old was mine. Her 4-year-old
But when the
was
child
mine.
was born, she says that she told you it
Yes, ma'am.
actually is not.
No, she didn't tell me.
Yes,
I found
I
out
did.
through a friend that
That's
another man
not
took the
true.
DNA test.
All right.
That's not true. This man asked me why I didn't have him at the hospital, why I didn't call him, let him know that
That's a
I
lie.
was in labor.
That's
and
a
I
lie.
told him because this baby, when she came out, she did not look nothing like our oldest daughter. We have a 6-year-old daughter together. My 3-year-old, she's very dark. She came out dark. Most babies be light bright. She came out dark, and I knew that she didn't look nothing like this man. And I was honest with him, straightforward. And guess what? Even though I so-called pinned the baby on him,
He
we
still
didn't
was
stop
sleeping
messing
with you.
around.
I knew that was coming. I knew that was coming. You have a witness, Mr. Bailey. Please stand up, ma'am. And please step up to the podium. And you are Mrs. Bailey,
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Bailey's wife.
Yes, ma'am.
You have heard a lot in this courtroom today.
Yeah, I knew everything already.
Oh, you did?
Everything that's been said, I knew about it already.
And you knew that already?
Yes,
because she's
ma'am.
stupid.
So what do you, hold on. Miss Smith, don't make me throw you out. Don't
mean,
be
it's
disrespectful
true.
to this woman.
It's true. It's not
Jerome,
being
go stand in
disrespectful.
between him. Miss Smith, now hold on. We didn't come here to be disrespectful to another woman. She was respectful to you, so you be respectful to her. Now, what would you like to add, ma'am, to this situation? You know everything she said is true. You believe that. Your husband's been sleeping with her.
Yes, he admitted to me, after the fact. She told me. She sent me a message on Facebook and told me that it was a possibility he could be the father. When I asked him, he told me. We were all staying in the same house together in Rome. Me, her, him, all us stayed together.
Yes, Your
while
Honor.
both
That's
of us
why I
were
feel like
pregnant.
she's ungrateful.
While both of us were
She's
pregnant, we
ungrateful.
stayed in the
Watch
same
your mouth.
house.
You're
We
right,
stayed in
she
the
is
same house.
ungrateful.
Hold on,
Watch
hold
my mouth.
on.
Ma'am,
Hold on.
let her give her testimony.
All right, go ahead, ma'am.
We stayed in the same house together. She said me, his older sister, and her, we sat in the same kitchen together while the older sister was perming her hair, and she was telling me and the sister, oh, y'all need to get some of these men up here, this, that, and the other. You know, basically telling us how many people she's messing with down from Rome
That's
to
a lie.
Atlanta. When we bought her,
So hold on. So you all
4-year-old
sitting together having these conversations, and you say she's telling you that she slept
Yes,
with this guy and
yes,
this guy and this
it
guy.
has not
so
always
that
been
fuels
drama
your
with us.
doubt.
When we first moved together, me and her, I would never say we were friends. We associated. She said we've never had a conversation. We've had plenty of conversations together. He even asked me before, why are you even talking to her? We've had plenty of conversations
All right.
together.
So let me just ask you this: do you think your husband is her child's father? To me, this child.
It's a possibility. I'm not doubting it. But she called me mama. She don't even have custody of her. She's never had custody of her.
Let's calm
Who had
down.
nothing to say?
Let's deal with the issue.
Defense took the baby from her.
Ladies.
Good. When this girl was pregnant with that first child, she was homeless. That's how she came to stay with me. You know what I'm saying? If you don't have
It was my house.
nowhere
She
to
wasn't
take a
staying
baby,
with
they take the
It was
baby.
my house.
This girl
It
moved
was
with
my
me.
house. It was
She
my
moved
house.
with me.
I paid the
that
rent.
house was on. It was
I
in
know
me and my
all that.
husband's
Hold on.
name.
I want to understand
The
your
house was
hurt.
in me
I'm
and
just
my
trying to
husband's
understand
name.
your hurt.
I have been there.
When did you start lying?
Hold on. Let's calm down. Let's calm down. Let's calm down. Jerome, I'm ready for the results.
There you go, Your Honor.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
These results were prepared by DNA Diagnostics, and they read as follows. In the case of Smith versus Bailey Anderson, pertaining to whether Mr. Bailey or Mr. Anderson is the father of 1-year-old Tamia Smith, it has been determined that the biological father is Mr. Bailey.
Thank you.
That's the news you wanted, right?
No, actually not.
Wait a minute. So who did you want to be the father?
I would rather deal with Mr. Anderson than deal with him any day.
Hold on now. When you came in this courtroom, the only thing that you testified to over and over again is how you're going to still be always connected to this man. Now, this court has determined that you all are, in fact, still connected because you have children together and you have to learn how to co-parent. I don't know how this sexual relationship thing is going to fit in with a marriage. That's for you all to decide. Last I heard, when you're married to somebody, you need to be having sex with them. I'm done with it, but y'all better get it together. Court is adjourned. Miss Smith, come around here. This man right here, you can give him too many years of your life.
I have.
Because you're putting yourself in a situation where your spirit keeps getting damaged and damaged. I can see through it all. Yeah. But if he's not going to be the man you need him to be, take a step back so that you can challenge him to be the father he has to be for your children. Do you get that?
Yes, ma'am.
I know you can do it.
Okay.
Okay.